Emmanuel Amunike has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria.
To continue their impressive run to place Edo State in the continental map.
Toby Amazon, look at the clock. I cannot believe it. She's done it again. 2 world records in one night, and she makes history by becoming Nigeria's first world champion.
Alex Iwobi decides to go early. Chukwueze shapes the shoot, gets some spaces. Osimhen.
Yes, it is safe to say the stage is almost set for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Last week, we saw the draws and the Super Eagles would have to navigate their ways past the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia once again. And hopefully, come January 18th, 2026, Nigeria will clinch our 4th AFCON title in Morocco. We are also celebrating as much as we can the women's cricket team. Remember, the under-19 cricket national side, the female Yellow Greens were able to finish 5th at the Women's Under-19 Cricket World Cup in Malaysia, automatically securing the ticket for the next edition of the tournament in 2027. We're saying congratulations to the girls. They go back to the country on Friday, and Sportsville was at the airport to do the needful to receive the girls and the entire contingent that made Nigeria proud at the tournament. My name is Matthew Okugbe, setting the tone for what promises to be another exciting episode of Sportsville. I must tell you, an interesting package awaits because the top guns are in the studio. Tony Ubani, the big man himself, is here, as well as Raymond Akparere. And together we are set to sail. So make it much more interesting, I must tell you, today we also have a lady in the house. She's making a debut on the show. You sure want to get to meet her, but after this break, we sail proper.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. The atmosphere was amazing. They were very, very welcoming, and it was a very, very comfortable environment for the girls to show themselves. Yeah, we first of all had to remove the name New Zealand. We know that they're a big side, of course, yes, but we had to just stay on a very positive note that we could actually do it and pick up that win, and we did.
It was a very beautiful one because at first we never knew that we'd be in the World Cup, but as it went by, the opportunity came, and we're so happy to be in the World Cup. You know, we experienced new things, we met new people, you know, made new friends, learned a lot of new things outside cricket and cricket-wise. So it has really helped me individually because my game has uplifted a little bit for me to know new things about myself and the sports and outside the sport. And my teammates are so happy because, you know, it's not easy to be in the World Cup, and to be the first Nigerian female team to make history by going to the World Cup is a very thing of joy. So make Africa proud and our nation proud.
The outing was eye-opening because this is the global stage. We have never experienced such a thing before, and just going out there and performing the way we did, it really shows that we actually have the capabilities and we have the talent to actually put Nigeria on the global map. So for us, it's a good experience, and it's something that we look forward to even in the future.
It's a great opportunity for us, you know, playing outside Africa. This is the first time playing outside Africa, so it's a big one for us, you know, playing at the big stage. The girls, they were well exposed, and also not only them, including the coaching crew, we were well exposed. We enjoyed ourselves there, in as much as we didn't qualify for the semi-final, but what we did actually shocked everybody. At least we represented ourselves well, we represented Africa well, we represented West Africa well, and also most importantly, we represented our federation well.
The team can go as far as they dream. Once they can vision it, they can achieve it. But what more importantly is for the Nigerian Cricket Federation on the board will always ensure that they keep everything behind this team to ensure that they prepare, stay together, play good cricket, be exposed to modern technology, data analysis, and ensure that everything that is required for them to perform will be done. As a result of their qualification, I might want to note that the Nigerian Cricket Federation had to revise the female agenda, and we came up with 4 Ps where we talk about performance, participation, people. So we're going to align with those strategies done by the board to ensure that we have our people participating and we perform at all levels. So it's going to be continuation of the strategy and more investments in the players.
Yes, so much to truly savor in the world of sports, and we are finally making a return once again for another loaded episode of Sportsville. If you just joined us, you haven't missed much because we are just getting started. The big man himself in the studio, the most articulate Tony Ubani is here. Tony, it feels great to have you back.
Thank you so much, Matthew, and of course our distinguished viewers out there. It's a very good thing to come, and I must tell you that out here we're always looking for a balance, and today we are balanced, and I must tell you, a refreshingly different, alluring lady is going to put all of us in the mood, like Raymond would say. But I must tell you, she's here, just because she has a killer punch, to bring to us on this wonderful station.
Interesting, and talking about the balance, and on that balancing note, let's make welcome Pooja. She's known as Joy Obayemi. She's making her debut on the studio on the show today. Joy, it feels great to have you on Sportsville. We are so excited to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so very much for having me. I think I'm the newest striker on the team, so I hope I bring my A game on. Keep watching.
Interesting, and I will have the man that says it just the way it is. You always enjoy Raymond when he's in the mood to talk sports, especially when talking the Super Eagles and the NFF. Raymond Aquari is in the studio. Raymond, it feels great to have you back.
Yeah, so good to be here. Sportsville, always time to say the truth, and this is what we are noted for. We keep doing it better. Particularly now we have it much hotter. A very beautiful face on our midst, and that will bring out the best from all of us here. I assure you all.
I must tell you, everyone is motivated, and you know what that brings. When the ladies in the building, you see the guys are coming out to bring their A game to bear, and that's exactly what Joy brings to the show today. Let's start with cricket. So much is happening. We are still celebrating the junior female yellow greens. They finished 5th at the under-19 women's cricket T20 World Cup in Malaysia. The girls made us proud, and for the very first time, I saw Nigerians staying awake overnight to watch a cricket game. This is just more like a rider to tell us that if sports is properly run, any sport at all can become an household sport. Nigerians can truly follow when the needful is done. The girls automatically secures the tickets for the 2027 edition of the same event. Tony Ubani, Uya Pata and the girls, they're back in the country, will say they deserves all the flowers they could get at this time.
Yeah, absolutely, Matthew. But I think, just because it's not football, that's why I didn't see, them roll out the drums. I expected them to roll out the drums, and of course, for them to welcome them in a very historic manner, because they performed a historic feat, Matthew. For the very first time, Nigeria's name and image, of course, was put out there in the zenith. For the first time, Nigeria is getting to dare the world. And of course, New Zealand, the heavyweight name when it comes to cricket, was humbled. Was humbled by these yellow-green ladies. Very beautiful lasses you see out there, and of course, they brought everything to play. Their colors were so fascinating. And of course, their game was equally as beautiful as the girls were. And of course, we say kudos to the man that has, turned things around in cricket, which is, Akpata, the federation man, very humble man that decides that his work speaks for him instead of, relying on people to blow his trumpet, Matthew.
And we have a lady in the studio who should definitely talk about the lady. Joy, we saw the female yellow-green, the junior female yellow-green. They made Nigeria proud. Your take on their performance and what must be done to sustain this momentum? We understand the trajectory. Uyapata said they thought they would be here in 2028, but the girls had other plans, and they brought it to the Federation to the World Cup, and we saw how stellar of a performance they had.
This is a clear chance to say when preparation meets opportunity, you have to deliver, and the girls really showed that. If you listen to the captain of the team, Perty Loki, she kept on saying they've been playing for a very long time, training together, and this was an opportunity for them to showcase, and they really brought their A game on. I'm really proud of the girls, seeing Nigerian name written boldly on their jerseys just resonates with me that we have a lot of talent. Talent has never been the case for us in Nigeria, just management has always been the problem. So truly, if we have amazing preparation, we have the platform, for these girls, infrastructure will deliver anytime, any day, and that is what the yellow greens have really shown to us, that they are there for a reason, and they made their name. This was their debut, and they really made Nigerians proud.
Raymond, sports development is not done on paper. You must be as pragmatic as you can be, and that's exactly what Uyi Akpata has shown with the structure in the Nigeria Cricket Federation, and we could see the dividends. The results are obvious. What can other sports federation emulate for what the Cricket Federation has been able to achieve going forward?
Well, Cricket Federation under Uyi Akpata have been able to prove that with good planning, with focus, and of course being articulate, you can beat the world. Not many of us give them a chance, but for those who are close to the Cricket Federation, it's obvious that Uyi and his men, that federation, have been silent workers. These guys have been training, even that they may not be as popular as you want them to be, but definitely there has been a program. They've not been bothering others about coming for next election. I don't think Uyi is one of those struggling to return to the board of Nigeria Cricket Federation. The results are there; they'll speak for him. These are the kind of guys you need to beg to have another tenure. Not the ones that goes to Abuja every now and then, bothering the minister, bothering the chairman of a National Sports Commission or the DG. We have to have people who have it, people who have something to give, to render to the country. That's exactly what he has done. Perhaps the only thing I want to tell him now, of course, the federation, is that there should be some form of, they should be able to up the game now, create some more awareness. It's not good enough that we've gone to the World Cup and I would not know many good players who are cricket players. That is a challenge before the federation. This sport can grow bigger, but it shouldn't just be something within the federation. It is obvious that Nigerian girls, Nigerian cricket players will be inspired by this success story over there. And that's what I expect the federation. I'm not talking about those who failed at the last Olympic Games, because if I have my way, those guys should have been flushed out by now. Uyi Akpata should be, how do you call it, how you can really assess a true federation. Talk about commitment, talk about seriousness, not those busy bees we have here and there. Let's have people who can be proud of. Hold your head high wherever you are. Uyi Akpata, this is how it should be. And I hope other federation presidents and their so-called board members who we hardly see, who hardly hear of any progress from, are watching, of course, listening too.
Yes, away from cricket, we are talking football now. Remember, we saw the draws for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, and the Eagles would file out once again against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Remember, in Cameroon, the team stopped the Austin Iguavon-led side from proceeding to the quarterfinals of the tournament. This time around, Nigeria will be up against Tunisia, Uganda, as well as Tanzania. We'll be talking the AFCON draw, looking at the group holistically. But first, we'll go on a break, and when we return, we're so proper.
Keep watching Sportsville.
Yes, you're welcome back. It's time to look at the chances of the Super Eagles at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. We saw the draw last week, and you want to say easy peasy for the Super Eagles aside the Tunisian national side. Tonobani.
Yeah, Matthew, I think before now, ordinarily, I think that one should say that it will be a stroll, on the park, for the Super Eagles. But then, these are not ordinary times in Nigerian Super Eagles. And I think that there is absolutely no need for us to take any country, just disregard any country. Ordinarily, Uganda and Tanzania, I think that they will just be, kicking by, saying bye immediately after the first round. But then these are people that will always pull the strings. Surprises come from teams like Uganda and Tanzania. I think almost everybody is focusing on Nigeria and Tunisia. And of course, they have a better pedigree. They have a better name, in Nigeria football, African football, and of course, the world stage. But then I think that smaller teams we have just seen recently are the ones that definitely spoil the show for such bigger teams. And so the Super Eagles should be wary of such teams like Uganda and Tanzania, Matthew.
Interesting. And Joy, your take on what we should expect? Nigerians should just go to sleep. We are in the next round.
If there's something we need to always remember was during the last AFCON 2023, there was no small team. A lot of nations they've put in so much work and investment into developing their football, footballers. But I wouldn't say it's a walk in the park. There's no time we have faced any smaller team going there and feeling like we can do it and we get a shocker. Opening game at the last AFCON against Equatorial Guinea, nobody saw that coming like we were going to draw. We thought it was a straight 3 points, but we struggled to manage a draw out of that game. So for me, I'm not saying Tanzania like a walk in the park. Anything can happen, but for me, I'm still giving it to the Super Eagles to make sure they just come out top on, from this group.
Yes, interesting. We'll build up to that one. Now, let's look at other groups. It's not all about the Super Eagles today on the show. We're looking at the chances on other groups. Let's start with Group A, Morocco up against Mali, Zimbabwe, as well as Comoros. Joy, let me come to you. We're looking at the host up against Mali, Zimbabwe, as well as Comoros. You want to say a group you naturally give to the Moroccans to take pole position?
For the past, let's say, a decade now, we've seen the North Africans struggle. Even when Egypt hosted, they couldn't win it. And this time, Morocco hosting, I don't see them winning it either. But of course, they will go out.
There's this positive rise about the Moroccans. We saw them at the World Cup, and we also saw that trend. Infrastructural development, young players doing well for respective clubs abroad. Don't you think they are a team to truly look forward to? They are hosting again.
Yes, for me, it's a very interesting group for Morocco. Of late, we have seen the North Africans struggle during the AFCON. The last time, they didn't even qualify to the quarter-finals. None of the North African, team did. So for me, Morocco, yes, they've had a lot of players playing abroad now that would inspire the team as host nation. But still, I don't see them going ahead to win it. They will have a lot of fan support behind them. But for the group, they will top the group. But going ahead to win the tournament, I don't see it coming.
Yes, let's see how that pans out. We'll head up straight to Group B, where we have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, as well as Zimbabwe. So nobody.
Yeah, Matthew, I think this is also a very, very tough group, when you look at the Pharaohs are there and, Egypt, South Africa, and then Angola. I think these are very tough teams, and I know how, and we know exactly how Mohamed Salah has always been raising his game. Earlier I was just talking about him, comparing him like an old wine, very red wine. When you think that he's getting older, and of course he brings out a taste. That's exactly how I see Morocco. They are very well organized in terms of administration, in terms of infrastructure. They have everything, and of course the welfare of athletes, players for them is top notch. And then you look at South Africa. South Africa is an imagine powerhouse in African football. We saw what they did in Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, and of course, they missed it by whiskers. And of course, coming back, Hugo Broos has really been spitting fire. I think that definitely they will do something. But then Angola is always a very, very surprise team, Matthew. Angola can spoil the party for both Egypt and South Africa.
Yes, talking about spoiling the party, hopefully we'll see Senegal take pole position in Group D when they file out against DR Congo, Benin Republic, as well as Botswana. Raymond will be talking to us on the chances of Senegal in this group, but we'll go on a break, and when we return, we'll look at this Group D as well as other fixtures lined up.
Keep watching Sportsville.
Yes, you're welcome back. We're still looking at the groupings for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Raymond, we're looking at Senegal, an easy group. I would say more like among the top teams. You say Senegal seems to be in a position where they could win all their 3 games.
Hallelujah. Arise the Lions. In every Nations Cup, Senegal is always a favorite now. And it is because of good planning. You talk about Morocco with good planning in terms of facilities. But when you talk about organization, boosting the national team, you can't take that from the Federation Senegalese of football. Even as a man, might not be doing well wherever he is now. But I tell you, when it is the Equipe Nationale, that the national team of Senegal, there's always that. You see the Lions, everybody waking up like real lions, everybody wanting to roar. Interestingly, in all groups, we have 2 teams that won the Nations Cup in the past. So there's always the hunger. So DR Congo, Senegal, and co apparently are favorites as far as that group is concerned, but it's African football. When it's African football, the game has changed completely. It has evolved. Many of the teams, no underdog again. So that is why even the other teams in that group, besides Senegal and of course Congo DR, will not take anything for granted. They want to prove their mark. They want to make an impact in this group. So it is very much open, Matthew.
Yes, in Group E, we'll be looking at Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, as well as Sudan. Joy, your take on this?
Yes, Matthew, I think it's a very interesting game, group. Anybody can come out from that group. But
aside
I'll give
the Algerians,
it to
other teams seems to be balanced. They can cancel themselves out.
Algeria seem to also struggle.
And underrate the Burkina Faso team at your peril as well. They also have
exactly.
a good side.
They are having a very good time for themselves. So I think Burkina Faso and Sudan might likely come out from this group.
Algeria?
A spoiler for Algeria.
Wow.
These 2 teams, they are tough. And I'm rooting for the West African team, of course.
Interesting. And also the luxury of having the 4 best losers from the respect from all the groups might also see other teams also coming to the back door as far as qualifying for the next phase is concerned. Tonu Bani, let's look at Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Gabon, as well as Mozambique. We're seeing Ivory Coast and Cameroon locking arms in the group stage of the AFCON. The finals, before the finals.
And a very tough group. Ordinarily, so many people just expected that, the seeded teams, were just going to just be it. That they will be the ones that will pick the ticket first and then allow the other 3, to struggle. But I must tell you that in this group, we are talking about the indomitable Lions, even though they have not really been indomitable for some time. A lot of off-field distractions of one of the star footballers of Africa and indeed that of the world, Samuel Eto'o, But then I think that if they bring everything to bear, Matthew, the Cameroonians have a way of, coming to indeed dominate, when they play. But then I think that this time around, Matthew, African football has, like Raymond said, it has evolved a lot. And we're beginning to see that even the smaller teams, those that you consider as smaller teams, are no longer smaller. Perhaps in stature, they look smaller. But then, when they begin to do their deeds, Matthew, they look like lions.
Yeah, interesting. We'll build up to the AFCON 2025. Our kick starts on the 24th of December and round 2 till the 18th of January 2026. I will hope that Nigeria should be able to lift our 4th AFCON title when the finals come calling. An interesting December it will be. A Christmas feeling as well as that of the AFCON. You don't want to miss that for anything. This time, let's join the ever delectable Nengi to give us bring us up to speed as far as happenings in the NPFL is concerned. Stick around.
Welcome to another exciting episode of NPFL Moments. I am Nengi Ernest Ademola. The Matchday 21 midweek fixtures delivered thrilling action with 22 goals scored across 6 games on Wednesday. The Samson Sinasia Stadium in Yanagwa witnessed a Bayelsa United masterclass. Ifeanyi Ogba's brace in the 15th and 68th minutes and goals from Awal Sadiq and Ofem Eyong sealed the 4-1 win for Bayelsa. Wahid Adebayo's lone strike couldn't save Sunshine Stars. El Kanemi Warriors edged Enugu Rangers 2-1 in a nail-biter. Nasiru Saliu scored twice, while Saviour Isaac equalized briefly for the champions. Remo Stars staged a stunning 3-2 comeback against Abia Warriors. Ayodele Ezekiel and Antoine Ijoma put the visitors ahead, but Olamilekon Adebayo, Malik Jabbar and Frank Mawena secured the win for the league leaders. Ikorodu City dominated Kano Pillars, with Shola Adeloni and Harrison Austin scoring early. Abba Adam pulled one back for Kano Pillars, but Rabiu Ali's own goal and Ayomide Cole's strike sealed the 4-1 win for the Oga Boys. Aqua United and Lobby Stars shared the spoils in a closely contested draw, while 3SC Shooting Stars secured a comfortable 2-0 win courtesy of Tijani Kabir and Sadiq Ibrahim's goals. On the other hand, Thursday's fixtures produced 10 goals across 4 games. Enyimba and Heartland drew 1-1 with Daniel Eko's penalty for Heartland cancelled out by Joseph Atule's equalizer for Enyimba. The South-South derby between Rivers United and Bendel Insurance ended in a thrilling 2-2 draw. Menyua Oricheweimi and Collins scored for Bendel, while Ubong Friday and Handsome Surveyor replied for Rivers. Tornadoes triumphed 2-1 over 10-man Kwara United thanks to Ifeanyi Okechukwu and Abdurrashid Dabai's goals. Katsina United edged Plateau United 1-0 in a closely contested match. Here are some top clashes to expect today for Matchday 23. Kwara United vs El Kanemi Warriors. Plateau United vs Shooting Stars. Can the 16th place host upset the table toppers? The league's top scorers with 32 goals, Ikorodu City, will take on Rangers. Elsewhere, relegation threatens Nasarawa United face off Niger Tornadoes. Heartland hosts Rivers United. Lobby Stars vs Enyimba FC. Abia Warriors vs Aqua United. Kano Pillars vs Bayelsa United. And Bendel Insurance vs Katsina United. A crucial matchup for Bendel to escape the drop zone. However, the NPFL witnessed a heartwarming moment when El Kanemi Warriors goalkeeper and captain Abine George proposed to his girlfriend before the match against Remo Stars. Did you know it's been over 2 decades since a Southwest team last won the league? Fast forward to the current season, Remo Stars are sitting pretty atop the league with a 6-point lead over Shooting Stars. Will the title return to the Southwest this season? Only time will tell. Nengi Ernest Ademola is my name, and thank you for staying with us.
Yes, interesting package from Nengi. We'll follow the NPFL, the crucial stages of the league. We hope that the referees will stay consistent and the clubs would also not be desperate to nick the title at the end of the day. Remo Stars continue to take pole position. Let's see if they will remain consistent until the end of the season. And away from the NPFL, it's time to talk the UEFA Champions League. We saw the playoff draws in the course of the week and some very interesting games to look forward to. I must tell you, Celtic up against Bayern Munich. It will be Monaco up against Benfica. Brest would be filing out against PSG. It will be Club Brugge up against Atlanta, while Sporting will lock ons against Borussia Dortmund. Other fixtures will see Feyenoord up against AC Milan. Juventus will file out against PSG, a key game, and one fixture that just can't go away is Man City playing Real Madrid, especially at a very crucial stage of the UEFA Champions League. These teams have met again and again in the last 3 seasons as far as the Champions League is concerned. And that is the size of the show for today. We have to say our byes. It's been an interesting package, I must say, but remember, the conversation continues across all our social media platforms. On your screen at this time, remember, at Sportsville, we keep talking sports 24/7. As I sign out, remember, in this season where people are complaining about the economy, the society, virtually everything that is happening at this time, if you stay positive and decide to speak certain things to yourself, I must tell you, if you are positive, your life will definitely turn out the same. I'm Matthew Kugbe. We'll see you next week with another exciting episode of the show. Bye for now.
Emmanuel Amunike has scored for Nigeria. Goal that wins the first ever footballing gold medal for Nigeria.
To continue their impressive run to place Edo State in the continental map.